seriously good.
Literally the best thing you'll put in your mouth.
Everything's better with bacon around it.
Welcome, I'm Amy Pennington and this is Check Please Northwest, the show where diners from all over the area recommend and review their favorite restaurants. Every week we have 3 guests, each recommends their favorite spot and the other 2 check them out to see what they think. This week, Bing director Stephen Weitz says his favorite restaurant offers great food and a unique dining experience. And library circulation supervisor Karen Ball categorizes her selection as picture perfect and where the food is presented as works of art. And up first, staff analyst Kristen Moore says her choice blows the lid off your run-of-the-mill burger meal. She says head to Bellevue and test the amazing burgers for yourself at Lunchbox Laboratory.
Our guest is really somebody who really loves burgers, somebody who really loves milkshakes and really wants to have a unique experience that includes high quality ingredients and friendly, awesome service. What makes a good burger is really the quality of ingredients. We use a combination of Wagyu beef and a couple of other quality grinds of meat that we combine to make our super beef blend. We use an all-organic bun that's baked locally, fresh daily, and our toppings are always made in-house. One of my favorite gourmet burgers that we serve here is the Burger of the Gods. It's topped with a little bit of blue cheese, candied balsamic onions, and our super gorgonzola spread. It's delicious. So when a guest walks through the door, I mean, we really want them to have that sense of excitement, that sense of nostalgia. When they see those lunch boxes, they can look at their friends and say, hey, remember when you had that lunch box? When our guests leave, we want them thinking about the next time they're going to come join us at Lunchbox Laboratory.
So Kristen, you chose Lunchbox Laboratory as your favorite. Tell us why you love it.
I did. I was actually online. I read an article on what they thought would be the best burgers in Seattle, and the real party was underneath in the comments where there was this collective outcry about why Lunchbox Laboratory wasn't on the list. So I had to see what all the fuss was about, and I loved it.
It reminded me of my bedroom in the 80s. So I walked in, I had my lunch boxes all appropriately there, I had some linoleum flooring, and I had some loud music. And so that was really, to me, as though I had stepped back into my childhood.
And what do you think, Karen? What were your first thoughts when you entered?
A little confused. We got off the elevator and opened the door, and we didn't know if we were at the front door, the back door, the middle door, where we were.
Well, to start off with Lunchbox Laboratory, they are a quintessential nostalgic American restaurant that's kind of upgraded, right? Mm-hmm. Let's have a quiz. Do you know what churkin is?
Chicken and turkey.
Ding, ding, ding! We have a winner. How about dork?
Duck and pork.
Oh, well done. Karen, you lost that one. Utterly. What did you have to eat when you went there?
I had the Le Truffle Love.
Ooh.
Oh, I
And
wanted
it
to
was
try
love.
that.
And is that a burger?
Burger with a super beef patty. Black truffle mayo, which was fabulous, fabulous. And the best bun I've ever had. It was kind of a brioche style bun, soft, but yet had some texture to it.
Did you have fries with your burger, or what
I had
was your
sweet
choice?
potato fries. They lacked a little bit of flavor, but a person that was not our waiter came and brought sweet chili mayo.
Who was this person? Is there a homeless person? Just walking around?
A random restaurant worker.
Oh, okay. So someone who worked there. It wasn't just a random person.
I mean, she saw the sweet potato fries and said, you need this sweet chili mayo, and she brought it to me.
Nice.
That did it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now, Kristen, what did you eat when you went?
Okay, so the menu I had sounded more like I went on a spiritual retreat. I had the Rinds of Life. I started with those. And what really got me about the Rinds of Life was the presentation, because they bring out this huge plate of pork rinds, chicharrones, or whatever you want to call them, and they're actually crackling like they just got them out of the fryer.
And did you have a burger when you were there also?
I did have a burger. I had the Burger of the Gods, which to me is worthy of that name. Gorgonzola, caramelized onions, and it just really packed a flavor punch.
I picked the worst day to go because I had just started this crazy diet where I wasn't supposed to eat any grain or dairy.
I missed you.
So what happens in a burger joint when you have no grain or dairy? You get a lettuce wrap burger, which, look, they were really kind about it. They said, we have gluten-free. I said, I can't have gluten-free. I only can have grain. It doesn't matter. So they gave me a lettuce wrap with a super beef patty, some caramelized onions, some avocado, and some garlic mayo. And that was my concoction inside the lettuce wrap of death.
I think just the whole idea of the restaurant itself sort of adds to the flavor of the food when I eat it, because I'm a pop culture enthusiast, so the whole atmosphere just enhances it for me. I like to fancy myself a burger connoisseur. I compare it to the places around Seattle like Dick's or Red Mill, and the burger just seems like it's made with love. And like they really are back there experimenting and trying to figure out what's the best thing we could serve. So
Now, I think they're known for their burger stack, like it's just a tower of a burger. Did
Yes.
you notice that, Karen? Did you notice how big it was? Were you shocked? Was it like, oh yeah, right, regular
Absolutely.
burger? So tell
Absolutely.
me about that.
It was-
What comes out and what does it look like?
It comes out and it is a tower of a burger, and sweet potato fries flowing off the plate. It was 2 meals for me, totally.
And could you get your mouth around it?
Oh no, you cut it, squeeze it,
Smash it.
do whatever you can to get all those flavors in one bite. Definitely bang for your buck.
Did anyone have anything to drink?
well, you know what? With my burgers, I like to keep it traditional, so I do the Diet Coke with the lime. But my husband had a shake, and he really enjoyed it.
I had a lemon drop. It wasn't the best lemon drop I ever had, but it was okay.
Let's talk about your service experience. How was it?
It was good. The waiter was very informative. The first thing he asked us is, had we been there before? When we heard we hadn't been there before, he actually sat down at our table and described the menu and, you know, what was going on. So he was great.
And how was the decor?
Again, I felt there was a Back to the Future lunchbox and then Price Strikes Back lunchbox, and so I probably could have sat there for 7 hours looking at lunchboxes, but I didn't. So it's funky. It's kitschy. It's bright. It's not some place you go for a first date where you're trying to impress them with your knowledge of the world. But it's
Plus, you have to shove that mammoth burger in your mouth.
attractive generally. It's
Drips
usually a
down your
real
plate, yeah.
buzzkill.
All right, Kristen, well, you chose Lunchbox Laboratory as your favorite Seattle haunt. Sum it up for us.
I would say it is whimsical, fun, best burger you ever had without being too gimmicky. It's fun for your family.
Go for the burgers, stay for the lunchboxes.
Definitely go for the burger and take it home.
All right, well, you can take home leftovers and try the gourmet burgers for yourself at Lunchbox Laboratory, 989 112th Avenue Northeast in Bellevue, 425-505-2676. Open daily for lunch and dinner, and reservations are not accepted. Next up, Library Circulation Supervisor Karen Ball says for a beautiful view and dazzling dinner, head to Whidbey Island and visit Gordon's on Blueberry Hill.
We are located on Whidbey Island, Freeland, Washington. Takes you about 20-minute ferry ride and 10 minutes to get here. That is well worth the drive. When you walk in, you'll see fresh flowers and the beautiful view of Holmes Harbor. The cuisine at Gordon's on Blueberry Hill is a little retro farm-to-table gourmet comfort food. We source our ingredients here at Gordon's from our farm here on the property, as well as local farmers. And anytime I can get some fresh seafood from our harbor here, we get that as well. I want them to see art on a plate, my love coming through food. Gordon's on Blueberry Hill, bringing farm to table since 2006.
So Karen, you found your thrill on Blueberry Hill, as they say.
Absolutely.
Why do you love Gordon's so much?
You know, from the view to the decor to how warm and comfortable it is when you walk in, and the fact that I've left there every time having the best meal ever. That's it.
It takes your stress down like 20 points too.
It
Coming
does.
from the city, especially when you walk, when you get in the ferry and you have to decompress for those 20 minutes. You take the drive across the island for 10 minutes or so. You get there. By the time you're there, either you're angry because you've driven, or more likely you're just at
Relaxed.
peace. And so you walk. You're already when you get there, you're in that Zen moment already, which is
So
great.
you had that same experience, Kristen?
Coming up the stairs, they just have, there's bamboo and little stone figures, and it was just really relaxing. You felt like you were coming to a special place, and there was more in store that was really good.
If you're
Yeah.
from the Northwest, it will feel like you went to your buddy's house on the island.
Right, exactly.
And now what comes out first, bread or a cocktail?
The bread, while as they ask you, what cocktail would you like? So
Did you have a drink when you were there?
I did. I had the Bombay Sapphire Martini, and it was the first martini I've ever had that was served out of a lowball tumbler.
Oh.
So they gave you a lot.
Mine
So-
was actually in a standard martini glass.
Really?
Same thing. I
Oh,
wonder if
I've
you just got they liked you better.
I got lucky.
You got the bonus
Apparently.
martini.
Yeah, Bartini.
Well,
You're-
let's talk about food.
Bacon wrap filet mignon.
Yum.
Did you
Everything's
have that?
No. But I
you
saw
want
it.
it.
But
Yeah,
I
okay.
saw it.
Yeah. Best filet ever. Cooks it just right, just the right temperature every time.
Who had appetizers? Something to start with.
I had the Pacific Rim sampler, 3 different things on the plate. A house-made barbecued pork was served with a real hot mustard, and then the biggest, best tempura prawn with a sweet chili sauce, and then some London broil teriyaki bites.
Yum.
Yeah, I always judge restaurants to see if they can do a decent but a simple salad. Because that's really an art to do a salad that's actually simple but also beautiful and flavorful. And he did a great job. It was
Yeah.
it's a gorgeous house salad, but he has his own version of a crouton on there with this kind of long, skinny. Wasn't that good?
I started with the Caesar salad. This was one of the lightest, crispiest Caesar salads that I've pretty much ever had in my time going to restaurants. And Gordon, as Stefan said, he adds his own touch with that special crouton. It's like a strip, like long crouton. I've never had that
so
before.
good.
And
Yeah.
it's really good.
I think we're all hitting the same point, which is the food is all very fresh. Right?
Yes.
Everything it feels very locally sourced and well prepared.
Definitely, yeah.
Nothing feels, hopefully not, out of a jar, out of a can, or anything else. It's all done with a lot of care from Gordon himself, who roams around the restaurant as we're eating.
He looks local first.
And
Everything he picks is local
great.
if he can get it.
And Gordon actually came out as soon as we stepped into the restaurant. So that was really cool. He greeted us, made us feel like family.
That is what stands Gordon's out, in my opinion, is the service. I mean, from the minute you walk into the door until you walk out, everything is taken care of, on time, spot on.
And what did you have for dinner, Kristen?
I had the surf and turf, which was awesome. You actually got options for the surf part of the meal, and I chose the pan-fried oysters, which were really good. And the meat was really juicy and good. Now, when I go to steakhouses, sometimes I like to order things medium well. And sometimes steakhouses don't take well to that because it's like
You get the
ruining
worst cut.
a piece of
Yeah,
meat.
so,
Exactly.
You actually get pork.
I feel right. Mystery
Out
meat.
in the kitchen.
Right.
Yeah.
But I feel like I got just as good of a piece of meat as anybody who ordered rare or medium rare. It was almost fork tender and just
Wow.
seriously good.
Overlooking the sound of the harbor that's right
Yeah,
there, you
Holmes
have to.
Harbor,
To me,
yeah.
I have to have seafood, obviously.
Oh,
So
nice.
I had the prawns over ravioli, and it was good. I mean, the prawns were good. It was a little too sweet for me, honestly. I thought it was great coating on the ravioli, great coating on the prawns, but it felt like I was almost too much
The
sugar. in
Sambuca
it.
prawns,
Yeah,
that's-
Sambuca prawns. Yeah.
Okay.
So I wanted more savory, less sweet.
Okay.
And the ravioli was a tad underdone. I thought I like al dente, but this was almost al rae, and it was I just made that up, and so, if it's even a word. And so that was for me a little miss. My mom had a great rack of lamb, which was spectacular. My father had some crab cakes, which were also spectacular. So I think I may just have the one kind of askew dish for the evening.
And did you follow up with a dessert, speaking of sweet things?
We had key lime pie and creme brulee. My daughter, whenever we go, has to have creme brulee. It's like her litmus test for restaurants, which is bizarre. But it was both of them were perfect. The creme brulee was actually beautifully caramelized on top, nice and custardy in the middle. And the key lime pie, which I'm not a big fan of, wasn't too sweet.
And how about general service? How was the service? From the moment you walk in, you sat down, how did that go for you, Kristen?
We were the first people there. We had a 4 o'clock reservation, got there at 4, and were able to be seated right away. They just treated us like they had been expecting us all day, and which is nice because this restaurant was off the beaten path for us. So to take that drive there and get that kind of greeting was really nice.
How was the bang for the buck?
You know, it's on the high side of a fine dining restaurant, but you leave there satiated beyond.
I think for Whidbey it is, but not if you're used to Seattle prices, it's actually, I think, fairly reasonable.
And I felt like I got my bang for my buck. I got a good cut of meat, and the portion sizes were really good.
Yeah.
All right, Karen, well, you chose Gordon's on Blueberry Hill as your favorite. Sum it up for us.
A hidden gem on a beautiful island on the top of the hill, overlooking the water, impeccable food, service. What more could you want?
Wow, you took all my adjectives. It is a place, like I said, you go there and immediately you are relaxed, and not only do you get the sense of relaxation, but you also get some amazing senses of fine food.
Serene, peaceful, definitely the place to go for a special occasion. Whoever you take there will feel really special.
Well, you can feel special too at Gordon's on Blueberry Hill. 5438 Woodard Avenue in Freeland on Whidbey Island. 360-331-7515. They are open Tuesday through Friday for lunch and dinner on the weekends. Reservations are accepted and recommended. And finally, Bing director Stefan Weitz says he loves the authentic Lebanese flavors at Mamnoon on Capitol Hill.
Feels very neighborhoody in the middle of this very metropolitan part of Seattle. So it's very quaint in that way, which I think works for us. And I think that the diversity of the neighborhood lends itself to what we do here. If we're capable of doing something for somebody, I mean, the worst thing that we can possibly do, and the one thing we hate to do, is to say no to anything. We need people to feel like if you're coming into our home and there's something that you want or need, well, then I'm going to go to the fridge and I'm going to see what I can do. It's a blend of Lebanese, Syrian, Armenian, Persian. Every once in a while there'll be something of Turkish origin. There's really no boundaries to what we'll do. The unifying power of food, that ultimately through food you can take cultures that wouldn't maybe necessarily dine together or sit at a table together or joke together or share stories and laugh together, that we are actually able to do that here, and it's a really powerful thing. Ultimately, we want to provide an experience that is so memorable that the first thing that they're thinking about when their meal ends is, when can I come back and do this again?
So, Stefan, you love Mamnoon?
I love
Tell us why?
I love Mamnoon because there are not many places in Seattle where you can get this level of Middle Eastern food, which is so simple, and so many flavors, and so fresh, and frankly so quick as well. So you can literally get in there for a few meze and get out if you want to, or you can spend the night there and have just amazing dishes from all across the Middle East region.
Walking in, kind of urban chic. I was, really happy to be in the Melrose Market area, and all the happening stuff going on there. Tried to figure out how to open the door. That was my first challenge.
When you get in, there's a mixture of people there. There were families, people dining solo. So it was a really cool place.
I think the risk is you do walk in thinking, I need tighter pants, especially.
Right.
But the reality is, because that's the vibe and that's the area, but I think the reality is once you sit down and the waiters and waitresses come, then kind of all evanesces away.
What's the decor like inside?
It's black, lots of black, dark.
I don't think it's not like a horror movie dark. It's just darker. I mean, there's still light coming in. I mean,
It's
not
like
like
a matte black, like a graphite type of paint they use.
Yeah, but it's definitely more
Contemporary,
Capitol Hill
it sounds
industrial.
like. What did you have when you went?
Gosh, I had a lot. I had fatouche, which is kind of a mixed salad with roasted pita and greens all together. We had hummus, which their homemade hummus is literally to die for. It's unbelievable. Fresh
Why?
garbanzos in the center. You've got. I'm getting to that.
Oh, sorry.
I mean, it's the hummus. They have literally fresh garbanzos, sumac, which is a Middle Eastern spice, in the center, and so the whole thing just pops in your mouth when you eat it, which is so good.
We had the two things, the spiced beef and the cauliflower. Unfortunately, both of them were overcooked.
Oh.
The spiced beef was in a dough with a filling and then deep fried, and the filling was so sparse that I couldn't really taste the spiced beef. I only tasted that the dough was overcooked. And the cauliflower would have been fantastic because I could still taste that the flavor was really good. It was just fried too much.
Yeah.
The high point for me was the waiter suggested that between the appetizer and the entree, we had this grapefruit salad. Have you ever had that?
Never.
Oh my gosh. Grapefruit and blood orange.
Ooh.
Oh, wow.
And it was so good.
Do they have
Well,
pitas and crackers and things like that?
They do have bread. You have
All
a choice
house-made.
of
All
right.
house-made.
Yeah,
They
they
make it
have a
all.
whole bakery on site, which
Yeah.
is just ridiculous. The breads, the pita, like the
Breads.
flatbread, it's amazing.
Yeah.
So you get that along with your hummus, and you can eat everything. Your ladne, everything is all right there.
I had the chicken kebab. It was wonderful. It was cooked perfectly. It was in a tzatziki-like sauce. A wonderful marry of sort of sweet savory in the sauce. It was really good. And it was served with some roasted cherry tomatoes, which were roasted just perfectly.
It's whenever I go, I always go for lamb almost every
Yeah.
time. So I'm a lamb guy, and so it is literally the best thing you'll put in your mouth for days. It is so good. But
The portions were okay. That was my only qualm because the food was fabulous, but I just wanted more.
Right,
I
exactly.
got the beef.
Maybe the food is too fabulous.
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah.
But but yeah, the food was seriously good. I just was looking for a heartier sandwich, but I had the beef kefta flatbread sandwich. I thought that would have been awesome if it came with the side of fatouche, because I went during lunch, and so a little combo something or other would be nice. But that was really good. But that's all I had. So, I wanted more.
Short and sweet. Did
Yeah.
you happen to notice the to-go window?
Yeah, you walk in and I noticed there was a kitchen in the back, but there's that kitchen right up front. You got 3 guys back there rocking and rolling, and it looks like you can just walk in and order what you want,
you can
carry
on
it
the street,
out.
on the sidewalk, actually, there's a window you can actually order at too.
That I didn't see. I went on a rainy
Couldn't find
day,
the door
so
or
maybe
the window.
Yeah.
maybe the window wasn't
might be a
open
you
during that
problem.
time.
Yeah, it might be. Might be.
Yeah.
Yeah, my daughter loves. I mean, we go there far too often, and she always gets. They have this amazing lemonade that's actually infused with orange blossom and everything else. So it's for a kid's drink. It is off the chain.
Did you have something for dessert?
We did. We had croissant bread pudding.
That wasn't
Oh,
on the menu
my
during
gosh.
lunch. I want that.
It was to die for. Kind of crusty cubes of croissant in a pudding. It was just delicious. Could have used a little whipped cream, vanilla ice cream, but
What
Can't
can't
all
really?
desserts,
Yeah,
I
not
was about to
really.
say.
Yeah.
Can use vanilla ice cream.
yeah. And the coffee was fabulous.
Yeah.
That's interesting. That's not something you hear all the time. Coffee's usually a secondary thought. You don't
Yeah.
really think about
Yeah,
it.
No.
it's not really special, but yeah.
It was, really good coffee, individually made, not back there pouring it out of the pot.
Let's talk about price point, Kristen. Did you find value in the meal?
For the amount that we paid, I wish we would have gotten a little more. But, if a friend wanted me to go to Mom Noon, I would go with them and not complain about the price, and I'll definitely be back.
Look, I agree. That's the only thing that stops me from going every single night is that I probably can't afford it.
How is the neighborhood around Mom Noon? Where is it located?
Capitol Hill, and I'm a suburban mama, so I'm used to having, going to a mall and having acres of parking, and you just go in when you want. We had to circle around a few times.
I mean, certainly it's in a great area. You have Terra Plata across the street. You have Taylor Shellfish. You've got Sitka and Spruce.
I know, I
so
keep saying, I want to go there.
yeah, you've literally got, it's an amazing area. Parking sucks, let's be
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah.
It's horrible. So if you live downtown or anywhere near downtown, take a cab or an Uber or a Lyft or a sidecar and get up there that way. There's 0 point in trying to.
I just
to
said,
drive
$10,
yourself.
we're parking here.
Yeah, otherwise you just get angry. So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
but yeah, I agree. Parking is a pain up there.
All right, well, Stefan, Mom Noon was your choice for favorite Seattle restaurant. Sum it up for us.
It's a place that I go in particular to get tastes and flavors in a simplistic way that actually deliver on that flavor profile you can't get anywhere else.
I'll say it again, urban chic, felt cool to be there. Many bright parts in the meal.
And Kristen?
I would say exotic, different, and I would definitely be back.
All right, well, check out Mom Noon for yourself. It's at 1508 Melrose Avenue in Seattle, 206-906-9606. Open Tuesday through Sunday for lunch and dinner, but it is closed on Mondays. Reservations are accepted. So on this week's show, we featured Lunchbox Laboratory in Bellevue, Gordon's on Blueberry Hill in Whidbey Island, and Mom Noon on Capitol Hill. Let's recap what our guests had to say.
First up was Lunchbox Laboratory in Bellevue. Kristen says it's the best burger you'll ever have. Stefan says go for the burgers, stay for the lunchboxes. And Karen says be sure to take home the inevitable leftovers. Then we went to Gordon's on Blueberry Hill in Freeland. Karen says it's a beautiful hidden gem with impeccable food. Stefan says it's a relaxing getaway. Kristen says to take someone special. Finally, we visited Mom Noon on Capitol Hill. Stefan says you can't get the flavors like these anywhere else. Karen says it feels cool and urban chic. Kristen says it's exotic, different, and she'll be back.
Well, we have had another awesome time this week. I want to thank my guests, Kristen Moore, Karen Ball, and Stefan Weitz. Join us next week for 3 new guests recommending their favorite restaurants right here on Check Please Northwest. I'm Amy Pennington, and I will see you then. Cheers. Cheers. Thank you for coming and sharing your lovely recommendations with us. Wasn't that nice?
Visit kcts9.org/checkplease. You can share comments, find more information about featured restaurants, and don't forget to like us on Facebook. Things are happening there. We're at Check Please Northwest.
Check Please is made possible by Sky City Restaurant atop the Space Needle, where people have been turning special moments into memories for over 50 years. The people at Sky City encourage you to get out and explore all the fresh ideas and tastes our amazing region has to offer.
PCC Natural Markets, making it easy to eat well with fresh seasonal ingredients. Locations and more at pccnaturalmarkets.com.